This is the Fulda Gap. It's from Compass Games and it's part of the company scale system, CSS games. Now this is just a quick introduction to the scenario we're playing, which is scenario 4. Now before we start, I did mention that the rulebook was a bit of a mess and I'd printed off this alternate rule book that was on Board Game Geek. Well, I say it's alternate, it's just been rewritten. I've been comparing the rule book with that and I can't see a huge difference. I wouldn't recommend you waste a load of paper and ink printing that off. I think you'd be better off just sticking it on a tablet as a PDF, or maybe just getting a set of errata and sort of working through them with the main rulebook. I found that this rulebook is actually easier to read because it's got all these grey boxes with titles and things like the sequence of play. It's all much clearer in this format than it is in that reprinted document. Anyway, that's beside the point. Now, this particular part of the central front in Europe is always considered to be a crisis point, because it's sort of it's called the Fulda Gap because there's a gap here that there's a cat here as well, that the Soviets could exploit to break through the NATO lines deeper into Germany. Now, there's not a great deal of NATO forces in this area at the moment. What are you doing, cat? In fact, we've got the 11th Armoured Cavalry Regiment, which is the main force on the battlefield. And there are some elements of the 8th Division arriving from the south, which is it's 8th Infantry Division. A lot of the victory points is based on capturing specific hexes or inflicting damage and not using or using chemical and nuclear weapons at certain way. I don't know what's up with this cat at the moment. So we know the Soviet axis of attack. The Soviets have potentially got 4 divisions. Now I don't know if they're all committed. Stop it. We don't know whether they're all committed to this particular battle. I don't like studying the reinforcement schedules in detail when I'm playing solos. I like to have a bit of fog of war, so I'm not really knowing where the attack is going to come from. A lot of the Soviet units are a bit tired, or fatigued, which represents the fact that they've been secretly moving into position for a surprise attack against NATO. The NATO divisions are better. They've got better equipment. I don't know about the air side of this game. Yeah, just a second, just replacing that stack the cat decided to have a go at. There's other things that are important. There's an Autobound, which is Autobound 5, which is not very clear. Have you noticed it's got yellow around it? That is really important. That goes right the way through the Fulda Gap, from West Germany all the way into East Germany, I would say. Or does it? Yeah, it even crosses East German border at places. Probably goes much deeper. That is important, that road, the Warsaw Pact sweep that road clear of NATO things to get victory points. They also get victory points for exiting off the western point of the map here. Yeah, and if you're looking at Autobahn 5 and you sort of say, oh, look on the effects thing, it's really difficult to see that it's got this yellow thing on the actual plate. I think I saw that somewhere else. I think it's actually in the main rulebook that shows you what the Autobahn 5 looks like. Right, we've got, let's see, how many days are we talking here? Right, we're talking it's starting at 7 o'clock on August the 1st, 1985. It goes up to the 5th of August, this one. There is another one, a NATO counterattack, Scenario 5, which uses all the maps as well, which actually, yeah, we just have a look, which covers the situation from 7 o'clock on August the 4th to night on second night turn of August the 8th. It's a shame there isn't one big one that covers both of these together, but it certainly isn't unless I'm missing something. Now, if we look at the particular scenario that I'm looking at, hold the line at all costs. So it says the Soviet deception plan had worked almost perfectly. As the Soviets marched from the barracks, NATO was still sleeping. It wasn't until just before dawn that the alarm went off. How long would NATO have to reach their defence positions at the border, and would there be enough time? Now, there's a roll at the start of play here that says you roll on a 10-sided dice. The 11th Cavalry gets 3 to 5 activations before play starts. Typically we got 3, which isn't brilliant because it's going to be a lot harder playing as a defender. And I've played this system Second World War before, but I'm still a bit rusty on it. And I know there's significant differences in this system for modern war. So the 11th Cavalry is a bit of an oddball. It's actually it gets a free activation chit every turn anyway, and when its chit comes out of the cup, you can pay a dispatch point to put it straight back in. I believe you can pay 2 dispatch points to do something else. Just like, actually, I think, just bear with me a second. Looking at the 11th Cavalry. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, 11th Cavalry. Yeah, it doesn't have an HQ. It uses leaders to perform its HQ functions. So you get it automatically. Step C, the preparation phase of a turn. If it's played, you may immediately purchase again and place it back in the cup for 1 dispatch point, or you may save it for immediate play and pay 2 dispatch points. Now, that is a massive advantage to this particular formation, and I assume it's because this formation is an absolute elite unit, acting as a fire break to cover the entire front. So pretty much all I can say about it in terms of the objectives. The Soviets really just got to launch a surprise pile driver and break through along this Autobound and get units off the edge of the map here, and it's up to the NATO units to stop them, hold as much territory as they can and prevent a breakthrough to the west. Just thinking, is there anything else I want to say before we go with this? No, I don't think so. I think I've covered pretty much everything I'm gonna need to say for preparing the ground for this one.